didn't realise, otherwise I would have steered well clear.
Yeah, you don't seem like you'd be into trivia night.
Oh, luckily no one smokes anymore, so I had an excuse to sneak out.
My name is Rachel Furch, and I am with Screen Rant. It's so nice to chat with you, Meaghan.
So nice to meet you. Hi.
Well, I mean, there's a lot to talk about, given everything that happened in season 1. First of all, everybody wants to know how we got to where we are at the wedding. Is this season going to follow Lucy at college like season 1, or will we get some more glimpses into the present day?
A little bit of both. Or a lot of college. We're mostly in college. We pick up where we left off, her starting her sophomore year, but then we do get more glimpses into the adult timeline as well. And we definitely put together some of the pieces of the Lydia, Lucy, Stephen triangle. So.
Well, the thing about Tell Me Lies is that there are quite literally so many lies that have become part of this web, and it's a domino effect. So, I mean, I know you have the book to source from as well, but what kind of challenges do you face in the writer's room when it comes to putting together all the pieces of this puzzle?
I mean, yeah, it's definitely a big web. We, in terms of keeping track of it all, we just have a million different files on each character. And we really focus on charting each character's individual storyline and what their issues are, what their secrets are, what they're dealing with. And then we find a way to weave it all together. But we definitely start with each individual on their own.
Well, for me, one of the biggest shocks in the season 1 finale was obviously how do Stephen and Lydia wind up together? And we didn't see a lot of her in season 1, which is what made it so impactful. So will we learn more about her just as a character in general in season 2?
Yes, we definitely learn more about her, and we learn more about, the things that happen in Lucy and Lydia's friendship that even make it possible for Lydia to end up with Stephen, because obviously something has to happen in a friendship for you to end up with your best friend's ex.
Well, I really enjoyed Bree's storyline in particular during the first season, because I feel like she goes on a journey that can resonate with a lot of young women. So I'm curious what story you were trying to tell with this character, and what challenges might she face going into season 2?
With season 2, we were definitely playing with a lot of power dynamics with Bree. I think she's someone who is, simultaneously naive and very wise. She has experienced a lot more in terms of her family life than the other characters have, but she's socially not as experienced as some of them. And so this season, she is dealing with the fallout of Evan, and she is kind of exploring her own sexuality and power as an adult for the first time, and she goes through a rough ride. She has a big roller coaster of a season. She's a much bigger storyline this season. So.
Well, we also got to talk about how Tom Ellis has joined the cast for season 2. I know you guys are married in real life, so how is collaborating with him on the show, and what does he bring to this role?
It was great working together. We've worked together in the past, and we're developing some other stuff together. And so we just had a lot of fun. We worked together well, but it was nice having him there, because I think we can forget how young the characters are when we're just with all of them. We forget that these are 19-year-olds, they're kids. And suddenly bringing that older energy in, it disrupts everything, and it makes you, I think, have more sympathy for some of the mistakes of the kids, because you realize, oh wow, these are not fully formed adults yet, because this is an adult and these kids are not. So he did a great job though, and he is a very, his storyline is going to be very, I think people will feel very differently about it I think it'll be very polarizing. So,
well, yeah. From what we have seen in the trailer, Lucy and Stephen definitely have a very different type of dynamic than they did in season 1. What can you tease about that and how it will change throughout the season?
Yeah, I mean, it was very fun to have the same level of intensity between them, but keeping them further apart. And it's more of a, I keep saying this, but it's more of a war story than a love story this season. And it's sort of about, you know, when you have that love or lust and it turns sour, where does that energy go? And you see them just still unable to leave each other alone, but just in a very different way because they are combatants this year.
Well, there are so many different characters, so many different stories that go on. And I'm curious if there's a character whose story resonates with you most.
I think Bree's storyline this year definitely resonates with me. I think, I don't want to give any spoilers, but she finds herself in a relationship that she has very little power in. And I think I just experienced a lot of similar things when I was a younger girl. And I think a lot of women can probably relate to those early relationships you have when you're finding yourself and you think you have more power than you do. And in hindsight, you're like, oh, okay, I had no power.
So I'm excited to see it. And it looks like it is about time for me to wrap. So thank you so much for chatting with me, Meaghan.
So much. It was so nice to talk.
Do you guys think I'm crazy signing up for Marian's class again? I feel like she still thinks I'm an absolute freak.
Why did you sign up?
To redeem myself?
I'm sure you'll be fine.